So apparently this is an idea that people haven't gotten past yet. Run the Rock 2020 committee created to make Dwayne Johnson president. Can we just stop this, please? Can we just stop? Donald Trump becoming president does not mean that people who are supposed to be on the left buy into the same game, play the same game as the goofballs on the right. Like, isn't it? Think about that. The fact that people on the right, for so long, since most celebrities are left-leaning and they vote more with the Democrats, for so long, people on the right would say, oh, come on, celebrities need to stay in their lane. I don't know what they think they're doing. Why don't they stick to acting or stick to doing whatever it is they do? Like, why does anybody want to hear your thoughts on politics? But then the second they get anybody who's on their side, oh my God, they go nuts. Clint Eastwood! Oh my God, Clint Eastwood! He spoke to a chair and it was the best thing ever because he hates liberals. And they elected Donald Trump president. Donald Trump, the anti-celebrity party, was like, we have a celebrity on our side! Oh my God, celebrity on our side! Make him president, quick! God, they're such hypocrites. But this really, really gets me sad, though, that Democrats are like, anything to beat Trump, so The Rock 2020, and they've been talking about this now for months. So this is like the second or third time we're discussing it because the news stories keep popping up, and The Rock is feeding into this as well. So let's see what they have to say. The man behind the people's elbow might just be the people's choice for president, huh? A campaign committee was formally filed on Sunday to support actor and former wrestler Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for president in the 2020 election, according to the FEC records. The organization, aptly called Run the Rock 2020, was filed on behalf of Johnson with the Federal Election Commission by West Virginia-based writer Kenton Tilford. HuffPost reached out to Tilford for comment and has not heard back. Tilford has tweeted about his thoughts on Johnson running for president in the past. His Twitter account is now private, but there has been no public comment made as to why he's formally filed this draft. It's important to note that anyone can register with the FEC, and it's very common for people to do things like this. But a draft for Johnson is particularly intriguing because he's been a buzzy name for a presidential candidate for 2020. Johnson most recently joked about running for president in May on the season finale of SNL, and also revealed in an interview with GQ for the same month that he's not ruling the White House out. Quote, I think that's a real possibility, he told the publication, of his possible candidacy. Time will tell. Like Tilford, many fans of Johnson hope he's cooking up a real presidential bid for 2020, and that this filing is just the start. Why, man? And you know what? The reason why I have to keep talking about this is because there are people who have some influence in a political sphere who've lent their name to this endeavor. For example, Michael Moore. He wasn't I don't think he was saying it tongue-in-cheek. I think he was serious. And he was like, we should run like Oprah or Tom Hanks or The Rock. He said, I don't understand why Democrats don't learn the lessons that, this is a celebrity-obsessed country, so we got to give people what they want. And The Rock would be the best. And by the way, they've now done polling on this. The Rock versus Trump. And guess what? The polls show that, The Rock would win, at least as of right now. Doesn't it bother you guys that, we don't know a single policy position of this guy? We don't know anything about his philosophy, his ideology, what he believes in. And people are like, yeah, Trump's so bad. Anybody but him. Well, what if he's, has similar douchey ideas? To be fair, it'd be hard to have as douchey ideas as Trump, but we don't need, a polished celebrity face who's a master at getting people to like him and spewing cliches, because that's not what politics is supposed to be about. I feel like people would rather have a familiar celebrity face of somebody that's likable than somebody who we don't know, who might be a little socially awkward, but who really has solid policy ideas and a coherent philosophy that makes sense for the American people. And actually, I'm lying, because I don't think people would rather have that. I think the establishment kind of pushes that on us and makes it a thing from the top down. And then, some gullible partisan Democrats fawn over the rock. But I think if you actually give people the option of somebody who's really policy focused, somebody on the populist left, they're going to take that option. I mean, look at the revolution that Bernie Sanders started. Now, this is where people say, yeah, but you know what? He didn't win. Well, there's many reasons for that. One of them being the DNC fuckery behind the scenes and quite literally attempting to rig the entire thing in favor of Hillary Clinton. That's not me saying it. That's if you read any of the WikiLeaks, you would understand exactly why I'm saying that and that it's a fact. But here you have a guy who's like 1,000 years old. He's got bad posture. He's a Jewish, maybe atheist, democratic socialist. And he won 22 states and 47% of the vote while having everything rigged against him. The corporate media never said anything positive about him. The entire establishment was backing the A-list celebrity candidate Hillary Clinton. So you have a guy who basically started from nothing. There are pictures of his rallies when he first started running. There's like 6 dudes and they're sitting there like in a lawn chair listening to Bernie rail about income inequality. And then eventually it just blew up, because when you give people the option of somebody who's dedicated to making real change for the people, they take it. And The Rock, nothing against The Rock, but this is a fundamentally different approach as to how we should run candidates. This is, let's just go for celebrities because the Republicans elected a celebrity and nothing else matters. Forget ideology, forget substance. Just good enough. If you're not Donald Trump and you're a celebrity, good enough, we're going to go with that. I think you're in for a rude awakening if you think you can herd the cats on the left in the same way that the people on the right fell in line for their dear leader celebrity, Donald Trump. The left is fundamentally different, man. People who are on the populist left, the grassroots left, they care about policy above all else. They're serious people with serious ideas that really care about making this country a better place and making the world a better place. And you can't just slap a celebrity face on there and say that'll do the trick. And again, this is nothing against The Rock, because I actually like The Rock. I was a huge WWE fan when I was a kid, when it was WWF during the Attitude Era. I even watch occasionally now. So, I have absolutely nothing against him. And all the reports are that he's an incredibly magnetic guy and he's super charismatic, and he's actually interested when he talks to individual people, he's actually interested in learning about that individual person. And I don't doubt that. I think all that's probably true, but I don't know, man. I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of feeling like we live in a movie. I want a new FDR, man. That's what we need in this country. When you look at the polls, the American people are clear. They want Medicare for all. They want free college. They want to raise taxes on the rich. They want a living wage. They want to end the wars. They want to do a new deal. So we need to find somebody who matches with the ideology, and then we go all in behind that candidate. That's the way to do it. That's the way to win. The way to defeat the fake populist right is the actual populist left, and that's a message that the establishment hasn't gotten yet, or they wouldn't be pushing The Rock in 2020. They'd be calling for Bernie Sanders in 2020, or they'd be, supporting a potential Elizabeth Warren candidacy. I know she's no Bernie Sanders, but still in the ballpark and significantly better than somebody like Trump. But you'd be fighting for real grassroots populist leftists and not for just a random celebrity face who you think could take down Trump.